said he was qualified, so he whooped his ass, while he was in there. Now, the other stuff that happened, it went down the way it did, man.
I would like to wish you all the Brits go fuck yourself.
What is going on, guys? Thank you for clicking into another video. This is Grey Talks Wrestling. If you could find it in your hearts, I would really appreciate it if you could consider, if you haven't done already, hitting that subscribe button. Thank you very much if you have done that. Let's crack on, and I'm going to talk about Monday Night Raw. We knew heading into the show that some of the talent were affected with travel. They couldn't get into Seattle. All sorts of problems. Trains, planes and automobiles. You know the score. It can happen. It's one of them things you just can't predict. But this show still went on. They still put on a show. It was passable, I'd say. And there were some talking points. Let's have it right. There were. Things happened on this show that need to be discussed. They kick it off with Rey Mysterio on the mic, in the ring. And I've got to say, his promos are not really the best. No one really screams, oh, and talks about, oh, that was a great Rey Mysterio promo. Do you remember that Rey Mysterio promo? We never really did. Never really was one for talking on the mic. Was Rey Mysterio. It was all about the action in the ring. But here, he did okay. Out comes Dominic. Fantastic heat. And they have a back and forth, building up to this match at Backlash. Whether it's going to be a normal tag, six-man tag, who knows. With the Judgment Day, with Finn Balor, Priest, Dominic, one of those, maybe two of them, maybe three of them, going up against Rey Mysterio, Bad Bunny. You could throw Escobar in there as well. Who knows what they could do there. This all leads to a match with Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. It's quite a long match. Went through a couple of ad breaks, if I do remember, but it was okay. Both very good workers. And they put on a good match. Filled up about half an hour of the show. This whole Rey Mysterio Judgment Day thing. They're still carrying it on. They're going to carry it on through Backlash. And probably past there as well. Where does this end? It can't end with Dominic leaving the Judgment Day. It cannot happen. He can't go back to being that boring, bland babyface. When we've seen how great he is as a heel. It has to end with Mysterio leaving. In my opinion, maybe a SummerSlam match, a rematch, Mysterio mask versus Dominic leaving the Judgment Day. Something like that. That's the only way they can go, really, and they take his mask. Dominic gets the big win that he needs. We're backstage. There's an interview going on. And then round the corner, Lita's got hurt. There's Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch. We're wondering what the hell's going on. Lynch is blaming the tag team of Morgan and Raquel for doing something. They say, no, it weren't us. It weren't us. And then this leads to Lita being taken out of the match. Trish Stratus being added in for the women's tag team title match. And we move to that right now. And we've got new tag team champions. And this match was dreadful. It's the only word I'm going to use. Try not to swear, curse, anything like that on here anymore. I'm trying to be a good boy. But it was dreadful. Just expose these women for how bad and clumsy and clunky they are. Especially Raquel Rodriguez. She was awful. Awful in this match. And you can tell how many people care about the women's wrestling. Every match, every women's match they had on this show. Dead silence. The crowd couldn't give two shiny shites. They couldn't care. No one was saying anything. No one was caring. There was silence. It just shows, even with Becky Lynch, supposedly one of the best, biggest women's wrestlers of all time, in the ring, the man. Nobody cared. Nobody cared when they won the titles. Nobody cared when Trish Stratus turned on Becky Lynch. after the match. There was no reactions to any of it. They had to pipe in noise all over the place. Just awful. Just tells you that there's only a handful of good women in this company. And they're not helping them. They're exposing half of the rest of them. Especially on this show, they were exposed. One of the best little segments of the night, the interview of Paul Heyman. Phenomenal. One of the best on the mic in the business of all time. A GOAT at promos. And he delivered one right here. He was phenomenal. There was a little storyline with Damage Control as well. They tried to tell tonight that it could be possible that there could be some friction. They could be breaking up. Bayley trying to get herself in the title picture again. Io Sky was not happy with that. She wanted in, or Dakota wanted in. Io got her way. She was in the triple threat match. There's a triple threat match for a #1 contendership coming up in a little bit. How the other women got in the match, we'll talk about that in a minute, because we've got Lashley versus Bronson Reed to talk about. Terrible. Terrible match. Just awful. Bronson Reed, I've been impressed by him. Lashley, we know how good he is, but together these two put on one of the worst matches in Monday Night Raw history. It was dreadful. Just mistake, looks after mistake, just clumsy moments all over this match. And then the brawl afterwards was pathetic. I think I could take Bronson Reed with the punches he was throwing. Jesus. This was terrible. Like, they both should get fired for brawling like, especially Bronson Reed, man. How he's not getting, like, demoted to main event or back to NXT after this, I don't know. Because that was terrible. Cody in-ring promo was what it was. He's challenging Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania Backlash. We're really doing this, are we? We're really doing this, putting WrestleMania Backlash back on. That was a good idea, was it? That worked well last time, did it? Jesus, we might as well just put WrestleMania next to all the pay-per-views all year round now. WrestleMania Royal Rumble, WrestleMania SummerSlam, WrestleMania Survivor Series. Why not? WrestleMania Money in the Bank. Usos versus Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy are just a joke. And they're trying to make Otis even more of a joke. This has got McMahon written all over it, what they're doing with him. All over it. Like, he could be a serious badass heel. Legitimate. Same with Chad Gable. He's an absolute clown. Both of them clowns. Where they could be a serious team that we could take seriously. But no, instead, let's just make them jokes. Usos get a win, and did it really matter? Did this do anything for the Usos, them winning a match against Alpha Academy? Suppose they had to put something on. There was no one else there, so the Usos step in again, show they are the ones. It was a decent match, but Otis is just a joke. Gable's a joke, and they could be so much more. Then we get the #1 contenders match for the Women's Championship, or the Raw Women's Championship, shall we say. And I want to know how Piper Niven and Michin deserve these spots. Haven't seen them for time. Why are they deserving of an opportunity to challenge for the title? Why is even Io Sky deserving of an opportunity? Can someone tell me? What big matches have they won? What runs have they been on to deserve the spot? The spot against the Women's Champion. Makes no sense. Obviously, Bianca Belair couldn't get there, so was what it was, but exposed again. This was shocking. How are these girls even allowed to perform in a wrestling ring right now? They should be back in training school. Michin's been around the block as well. I've seen Piper Niven come up through the indies. Fucking awful. What are they doing? Io Sky, I've been impressed with her time and time again. This was just clunky, clumsy. You didn't need a triple threat. Fucking awful. Sorry, sword, it's gone. Kevin Owens' interview with Byron Saxton was kind of entertaining, actually. Owens is brilliant on the mic. It was a highlight of the show. Him against Solo, probably the best match of the show. Right person won. Got to build up Solo some more. Owens, of course, was outnumbered, so it made sense that he lost. The Usos getting involved. And then, of course, after the match, the beatdown on Kevin Owens made sense. And here comes Bro! And Sami Zayn to make the save. I mean, just looking at them run into the ring, it just doesn't inspire anyone to think these are the people that are going to save them. I mean, look at the Usos and Solo. How are they knocking this shit out of them? Okay, Matt Riddle, yeah, was a legitimate fighter. Just, I don't know. I think it should have gone the other way with the Usos and Solo on top. And leaving them three laying. Because they already did that on SmackDown where they ran off. Chased them off. This episode, it should have been them on top. With Owens down, Zayn down, Riddle down, and Solo. And the Usos. I don't see why they should be running away again. Losing heat. Looking like chicken shits. We don't need that. We need them to be badasses and we need them to beat the shit out of them. They had them outnumbered. Owens was down. They should have waited for Zayn and Riddle to get in the ring. 3-on-2. They should have beat the shit out of them. And they didn't do that. Alright, let's just send everyone home happy. That felt like another McMahon thing right there. Anyway, that was Raw. Was what it was. Yeah, they can claim travel, trains, planes, automobiles and all that jazz. But still, the people that were there should have done better. Right? People were exposed tonight, especially the women. They were exposed. How awful the division is. There's a handful of very talented women in the WWE. The rest are just riding coattails. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about Monday Night Raw down below. And I'll see you next time. Stay lucky, everyone.